Hello and welcome to Excel video 234. I'm Nate Moore. Hopefully you're seeing some things that are helpful for you and that you like. I'd love to help you work with your spreadsheets and your data. When you're ready, let's talk. We're going to play a little bit differently in our example today. Remember, before we were looking at the CPT codes and the way the fee schedule worked together and the volume. And then last time we said, all right, let's look at our fee schedule, percentage of Medicare and percentage of commercial reimbursement. Today what I want to do is say, well, what if the reimbursement changes? What if the volume changes? What if Medicare's reimbursement changes? What if commercial's average reimbursement changes? I've put some sample numbers up here. Let's format these as a percentage so they're a little easier to see. Maybe something like that. And so what I've done is I've put the formula in here to start with because it's kind of a big, long, nasty formula. And rather than have you watch me type it, what I want to show you with this formula is if you inherit a spreadsheet, you come across a spreadsheet that you didn't create, you want to understand it, how does this work, what does this formula do? Sometimes it's helpful to look at the formula and rather than just try to read through all this mess, if you hit the F2 key to edit it, notice how Excel starts to light up the cells for you. So what we're doing is we're rounding this function, and what we're doing is we're starting with cell B7, so we can scroll up here and see how it's blue here and blue here. So we're taking the Medicare physician fee schedule, and then we're multiplying by E3, which is going to be kind of a green color, and there it is, there's E3. So we're taking the Medicare physician fee schedule times the percent of the business that's Medicare times E7, which is going to be kind of purple. See how Excel's trying to help us with the colors here? So I'm taking my average reimbursement that I had up here, and then I'm multiplying by two things. 1 plus G20, which is this red number here, the change in Medicare, and 1 plus G22, which is the volume change. And so in English, what we're doing is we're saying, give me the Medicare reimbursement times the percentage of the patients that are Medicare times the volume, and that'll tell me what my Medicare reimbursement is, just like we did up above. And then we're doing two things to that number. We're going to say, what if the Medicare rate changes, and what if the volume changes? What's the impact of that on my practice? The commercial formula works the very same way. If we hit the F2 key, you'll see everything light up for you in the blue and the green and whatever. The difference is we're looking at commercial reimbursement, 1 minus the Medicare rate. And see how it's putting the formula up here for us as we scroll around, so once we find E3, we can remember what's happening. Here's E7, so we're taking that times the volume. And then instead of taking the Medicare change, we're taking the commercial change, and 1 plus the volume change. That's what my formula is doing. What I wanted to show you is not so much, hey, it's a big, long formula, so much as if you hit F2, you can start to go back and audit and understand what the formula is doing. So that said, we're going to copy those down, and then let's take a total here. So we're going to use the sum button, and Excel will automatically go up and find all the numbers above it. We'll drag that across, and we've got our numbers. Let's see what it was originally. So if I just do equals, this is what Medicare started at, and we'll copy that over for what commercial started at. Let's see what the difference is. You know what, it would help me if I formatted this a little differently so I know that's my total. I always like this top and double bottom. So there's my total, there's my original. So if I come back and say, all right, if I started with the original and I went there, I want that to be a negative number because I've gone down, and we want to move that across and say, all right, we were getting 1,000,001 from commercial, but the commercial rate has gone up and the volume's gone up, so we're higher at 1,000,007. On the other hand, we were getting 700,000 from Medicare, but the Medicare rate's gone so far down that it hasn't made up for the volume change. And so I'm down there. And then we could do is we could do this. We could do a formula. Let's use the if function. There's a video on if. We say if, let's do the quantity to make it clean, this plus this is greater than 0, then we'll say that's a positive change. Otherwise, it's a negative change. The deal is you have to put positive and negative in quotes so that Excel won't go look for a function called positive or a function called negative. Now that's negative, and then what we need to do is change our conditional formatting rule. I'm going to clear the rule off of that cell, and let's come back and say this. Highlight cells if the text contains, let's see, let's make negative red. So if it contains negative, we'll make it red. Let's go text contains positive. We'll make that green. And then let's go back and let's make my volume go up 23%. and now it's a net positive effect. So what we've been able to do with the if function and conditional formatting is rather than put a number there, maybe we just need this on a dashboard. Are we going the right direction? Is it positive or negative? Or maybe we use both numbers. But there's an easy way to use the if function to get the result of a formula. Are these two numbers greater than 0? If it is, put positive, and then conditional formatting to color it. That's what I wanted to show you with this change analysis. Come back next time and we're going to format some of these things with this cell styles menu and see if that doesn't make our presentation a little easier to understand. Thanks for watching.